had to fly to China to get this lens because it's sold out everywhere here in Thailand, and for a good reason. It's 45mm F1.2, kind of replaces your nifty 50. It's super affordable at somewhere around $500, and it's actually quite lightweight and travel friendly, so I had to get my hands on one, and that lens kind of puts a question in my head if we actually need third-party lenses for Canon or not. Not that I wouldn't prefer it, but let's have a look. I sometimes hear a bit of scratching behind this door. Oh. It's not the first time that I have to rescue him, so we have to get him inside there. That did not work. Oh. Okay, that was easier than expected. It's the second time already that he got trapped on my balcony. So I think it's time to move him somewhere else, because otherwise he might get trapped here while I'm on holiday and dies or something. So let's bring him somewhere. So let's talk a bit more about the lens itself. Coming to the body first, it's fairly simple like all Canon's cheaper lenses. Like you get that ring in front, what I think no one actually uses. You have a focus ring, of course. I actually use it quite a few times because oftentimes I want my focus to stay somewhere in place. AF/MF switch, of course, it's actually good to have if you don't like to put that on a button. It can free up one custom button for you. And you have a 67mm filter thread, which you also see here right now is good for filters. So I like to have those standard sizes like 67mm, 82mm that so many lenses use. I don't like to buy new filters all the time, obviously, when I get new lenses, so that's appreciated. But aside from that, there's nothing special about this body. Only mentionable thing is definitely the weight. I think it's like less than 400 grams or so. Like, it's definitely really lightweight. It's plastic, of course, but I don't necessarily see that as a downside because it also saves a lot of weight. But I also have to say that if you're looking at Sony, for example, what you can get there with Wirestock's lenses, where you have a perfect aperture ring, you also have some more custom buttons, etc. It's like when it comes to the question if we need third-party lenses, you could of course argue that if the mount would be open, yeah, you would definitely also get a bit more bang for the buck. So yeah, I just leave it where it is. Okay, I would say it's time to release him. Okay, I can't even touch him now. Oh, yeah! I can't see him anymore. So most likely he's gone, hopefully. But there is a risk that he got under my car. Bro, please don't do that. That's risky. I think we're good. Hopefully he's somewhere in the trees there. It's time for a quick break to help you make money with your camera, because this is exactly what Wirestock, the sponsor of today's video, helps you with. Wirestock connects photographers, videographers, 3D artists, illustrators and photo editors with a consistent source of paid projects. A lot of the work right now is freelance projects in the AI space, and they also have photo and video production projects on there too. The big thing is that they focus on ongoing projects, not one-off gigs where you disappear after the invoice is paid, and you can expect a steady stream of incoming projects to work on. The way it works is simple. You sign up, get a short test task, and once the team reviews your work, you get access to projects with clear requirements and deadlines. You pick what matches your skills, submit your work, and get paid directly through the platform via PayPal or Payoneer. No client outreach, no negotiating, no chasing invoices. The whole hunting for work part is taken off your plate. For people who want a more stable way to earn from their creative skills, it's a genuinely useful option. They've paid out over $15 million to their community, so there's a lot of opportunity for creative professionals here. I've set up a dedicated Wirestock page for you guys, a link in the description. Check it out if this sounds like something you're interested in. But let's come to the more important aspect, which is the image quality. And I have to say at first here that I don't do those technical lab reviews anymore, because I think they just don't make sense at first. Like, most of the time, especially when you shoot video like I do mostly, then you have your lens corrections on in camera, and so most of the problems with the lens you wouldn't actually see. It's not completely true, I know, but for the most part what you see is what you get there. Anyway, if you're looking for a more practical review of the image quality of this lens, then this is for you. And so when I look at the footage of it and also some photos, I like how they look. It's certainly not like the sharpest lens that I've ever used. It has decent sharpness in the middle, but well, especially towards the center, it could be a bit more sharp. There's also a difference between perceived sharpness and actual sharpness of a lens. So if you're looking at a shot and you have a really soft background, because of an f1.2 aperture, for example, then it might feel sharper in the in-focus areas than it actually is, just because the contrast between out-of-focus areas and in-focus areas is so strong. And therefore, it's also, even if you notice a bit less sharpness on this lens, it's actually not a problem, because the shot still looks great and people feel like it's sharp. The bokeh looks nice overall, but from experience I can say it is a bit more busy in the background occasionally, but not to a degree that I would find it distracting. The bokeh definitely has a bit of cat's eye shape towards the corners, nothing that I find super important. I actually liked it in some shots, and it can also get slightly swirly around your subject, which it's like it leads me to character. Like, many people describe that this lens has a bit more character than other lenses, but that would be more a decision that comes from storytelling, where then things like sharpness, etc. don't matter anymore. Then it's more about having that kind of older look. I think that's an important aspect to think about if you want to decide what kind of lens to get. If it's not necessarily the money that's the issue, but if you're deciding if you should maybe go for a lens like that or an L lens or so, it's not necessarily just about if you will like the footage. I'm sure you will like the footage of all of those lenses. It's more about how do you want your videos or photos to feel like. And there it's like, okay, more character versus optical perfection. And also when it comes to lower apertures and image quality or the look of it, I think it becomes more and more important today to have fast lenses, because so many people shoot on their phones these days or on cameras with smaller sensors like an Osmo Pocket 4 or something like that. And these cameras, they have pretty much or almost the same video quality as bigger full-frame cameras today, but they can't replace bokeh yet. Even cinematic mode on your iPhone doesn't do that. Doesn't mean that your phone is bad or that you shouldn't use it. It still looks great, but sometimes you also want to show a bit off with your footage, right? And with a lens like that, you can do that at a pretty affordable price. One thing to notice about this lens when it comes to optical quality is definitely flaring. I'm not particularly a big fan of the kind of flaring that I got with it here. Like in this one shot here, you see that there is a small flare, but it's so strong that it kind of jumps into your eye. I don't really like that. I would actually prefer to have a rather big flare, but therefore one that's a bit more transparent and stretches, so it's not as distracting. And this lens also does not come with a sun hood, and even with an ND filter on, I noticed that I lost quite a bit of contrast due to a flare in one shot. In some shots, it almost looked like I would have a mist filter on it. And that's like in some shots it can actually be really nice because you get a really nice soft flaring and stuff, but in other shots that also becomes a bit distractive because you can lose a bit of contrast there. It's quite interesting about this lens because the same characteristic can be good in some situations but suck in others. And if you're a photographer, yes, you might get some chromatic aberrations and stuff, but is that really an issue? It's so easy to fix in post, so it's fine. Autofocus. It's not good, no. It's like, yeah, for like most things it is alright. Like it tracks your face well as long as you don't move too fast and stuff, it is fine. But the moment stuff gets a bit faster, like I filmed that dog here for example, it loses focus all the time, it's just too fast. Like the autofocus motor of this lens is too slow to catch up. And that's why like for usual creator stuff, you will be fine with this lens, like just filming yourself, filming some people, landscapes and stuff. But the moment you want to do anything for sports or filming your dog or whatever with this lens, like every time it gets faster, forget it. I would not get this lens for that. In that case, I would certainly go for another lens, but I have to say that I think this lens is also not really a lens that you would really consider usually for like sports or so. Just because of the focal length, like oftentimes you want to get a bit closer and stuff, and I would personally mostly shoot zoom lenses for that, like a 70-200 or 24-70 or so. So these are likely not use cases anyway that you're thinking of getting this lens for. It's more for like portrait stuff and slow things. Now, what makes this lens quite special is obviously its focal length at 45mm. So for me, this lens is kind of an addition to my trusted 35mm 1.4 lens here. And I have to say that it is actually a noticeable difference from 35mm despite being only 10mm more. So I definitely don't regret that purchase. And there's also a big reason why I did not went for other lenses. Like when it comes to 50mm 1.8, it's like I shot Fujifilm APS-C before and I have no problem shooting APS-C, but there are good reasons why I switched to full frame, and one of the reasons is actually lenses. At first, like f2.8 zoom lenses that actually give you a 2.8 full frame look instead of an f4 look that such lenses would give you on APS-C. But also when it comes to prime lenses, you have f1.4 and f1.2 lenses uncropped, so you actually get an f1.2 or f1.4 look instead of a 1.8 look that, for example, a 1.2 lens on APS-C would give you. Not that there's anything wrong with shooting an f1.8 lens on full frame, but it's like I want more. Like I'm not switching from APS-C to full frame just to essentially get the same look then, right? And that leads me to shooting with the 45mm 1.2, which was actually quite pleasant. Like I noticed the difference from 35mm definitely, especially when I did kind of street photography around the beach there compared to 35mm. But whenever I want to get closer, I actually prefer the 45mm lens. That's why actually shooting with this lens was a pleasant surprise. Like I found it quite flexible and I would not hesitate to only go out with this lens. What's also important to mention is that because it's an f1.2 lens, if you use this lens in crop mode, you get about a 70mm f1.8 full frame equivalent look. It's especially nice in the C50 because the crop mode works so nice that it actually gives you like a bit more dynamic range and stuff. So you can actually achieve really nice shots, and 70mm f1.8 full frame look gives you tons of blur. You can get pretty close to objects. It's great for portrait and stuff. And also, let's be real, when it comes to an f1.2 aperture, it kind of makes shots look good that would look average otherwise. Of course, it doesn't defeat proper lighting and all of that stuff. And especially also if a subject is a bit farther away, because usually if you want a lot of blur, you have to get pretty close to a subject. But with an f1.2 lens, especially at that focal length, even if you're a bit farther away, you can still see quite a bit of background blur, and that gives it a distinctive look, what I really liked about this lens. So let's wrap this up. Does Canon still need third-party lenses with lenses like that? Yes and no. So of course, I would prefer if Canon would allow third-party lenses for their full-frame cameras finally. But I would also say at the same time that because of lenses like that, and also especially the 16-28mm and the 28-70 or 75 what Canon has there, now I don't think that the lens choices, if you're thinking of getting into the Canon system, are much of an issue anymore. It's not that anything that you actually need, especially as a content creator, is actually missing. So that's why I think it's less of an issue today than it was before. So I don't see any reason why you would not get this lens. And it kind of shows because for the past 2 months or so, like pretty much since this lens came out, it's been sold out everywhere, here in Thailand at least. So it looks like that many people actually think the same. So if you're thinking of getting this lens, just get it. It's not sponsored, this video, by the way. I paid the full price for this lens. So much for that. And also I think this lens paired quite well with my C50. So if you want to know more about this camera and how it actually looks when you shoot travel with it or general lifestyle content, then check out this video here in the corner. There you will learn more. And if you like this review, then please leave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing for upcoming videos. I hope to see you there.